Arizona at the moment, and we're just north of Phoenix. Ooh. And there's a bit of a storm going on over there. The storm was forecast. It's a fair distance away because you can only barely hear the thunder. It's about 25 past 11 at night. Wow. We've been to a bar half the night. There's a carol. There's a fag. Been to a typical bar through the night.
Oh, there's a frog.
A frog? Is that a frog?
Oh.
There's a frog down there. It's vanished. There's a frog down there. A second ago there was a frog down there. A frog in the desert. It's a quick frog. I got it, but he vanished. He's a quick jumper. I prefer the frogs than cockroaches. We are back at the storm, see what's happening. Get another decent flash now. Wow. So only just hear the thunder above these air conditioning fans. Give it one more blast and that's it at night.
What else have got on there?
Don't know. Well, we're in Tombstone. We arrived yesterday about 2 o'clock. It's the first full day here. This is the room, the bed. Nice little place. Carol. And we've been up into town, and we've spent most of yesterday in the bar. Had a few look around a few places, so today I shall be filming in and around town, see what's happening. This is our room. I think I might film in this mode. Yeah, I think I might film in this mode all day. This is the bathroom. So
this is Tombstone, the original town. It's Sunday morning, and this is where it all happens. And last night this place was buzzing as a restaurant and shops.
This was also referred to as the Birdcage Opera House Saloon. That was just a fancy way in the 1880s of describing a combination saloon, a gambling hall, a dance hall, a theater, and a house of ill fame. That was the Birdcage. It was known across America by its disreputable reputation. For 9 years, they operated 24 hours a day, never closing their doors. During this period, there were 16 recorded gun and knife fights in this building. 26 men and 1 woman lost their lives right here. They left behind over 140 bullet holes to let us know how wild it really was. I would like to take a moment and point out just a few that are right out here. Now right down here, in the vertical post of the bar, that large hole was made by a .45 caliber. The lead slug still remains in the front of the bar today. Directly above the bar, about halfway between the light and the ceiling fan fixtures, that smaller hole was made by a .32. Now across the room over here in the human fly show bill, about 18 inches from the bottom left corner of the frame, that was a ricochet from a .45. And then just to the right of the painting of Fatima, in the green plaster wall right above the Lyman Twins building, that was put there by a .44, the lead slug is in that wall also. Fatima in this large painting was a famous belly dancer that debuted for her very first time on the stage here in 1881. In 1882, she went on a European tour. She was much more well known after that once she changed her stage name and became known as Little Egypt. Before going to Europe, she spent some time in San Francisco. While she was there, she had this 9-foot portrait commissioned and sent as a gift to the Birdcage. But the cowboys, soldiers, and miners used her for target practice as well. She has 6 patched bullet holes throughout her canvas, 1 knife slash just below her knee. If you take a moment, take an even closer look, and you will notice that she has 2 navels. Well, we figured one of those drunken cowboys shooting at her didn't like where the artist painted her belly button, so he put a bullet hole where he thought it should have been painted in the first place. The narrow staircase leading up this wall was the only means that the cowboys, soldiers, and miners had to reach the ladies in the 14 private Birdcage cribs upstairs. There are 7 lining either side of the gambling casino. They are suspended from the ceiling and they very much resemble opera boxes. The small self-suspension bridge across the center was appropriately known at that time as the catwalk. It was the only way they had to cross over to reach the other 7 on that side. The partition above and below was not added until 1934 when we opened as a museum and historical landmark. Otherwise, 127 years ago, when you came through these doors, you'd actually be looking through the gambling casino. You'd be able to see all the way back to the stage. Now the dumbwaiter down here at the end of the bar, this was used to carry drinks upstairs to the ladies and their gentlemen customers. You see, the average price to spend an evening with a lady here at the Birdcage was anywhere from $25 to $40 a night. To give you an idea of just how much money they were actually spending in here, that would be $750 to $1,200 in today's money. That price included 1 lady, 1 evening, and 1 bottle of whiskey sent right on up the dumbwaiter. Now our bar that you see right here, the front bar and back bar, are completely original. Our bar was brought here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The original intent was to put the bar on the railroads to bring it out here, but the railroads refused to insure any of the mirrors on the top portion. The bar was put on a boat. It was shipped around the Horn of South America to a port in San Francisco. From San Francisco, it had to be wagon trained the rest of the way. The entire journey took 6 months to bring us the bar. After that 6-month journey, it arrived, as you see, completely intact, including the mirrors. Those are still the original mirrors. The bar has been in this spot completely intact since 1881. Now this room right out here is the bar room. It is only about 8% of the entire building. Inside is the gambling casino and theater. That still contains all of the original faro, dice, poker, and blackjack tables. The stage curtains, the draperies, the lighting fixtures, Even the original hand-painted wallpaper still hangs on the walls inside. Doc Holliday did deal faro here from time to time. That faro table still sits on the gambling casino floor. Right next to that, in the orchestra pit, is the original grand piano used for all of the shows and performances on our stage. We had all of the great entertainers of that time performing right here. Great entertainers such as Eddie Foy Sr., Lotta Crabtree, Lily Langtree, and Lillian Russell, to name just a few. Up on the backstage, we house Tombstone's most valuable antique, the Black Maria. This is the horse-drawn burial coach that was in service here in Tombstone from 1881 until 1917. It took all but 6 bodies to Boot Hill during its time in service here. The original purchase price of the Black Maria back in 1881 was $8,000. That would be roughly $240,000 in today's money. That's because it is inlaid in 24-karat gold and sterling silver fixtures. There were only 8 of these made. Ours is believed to be the last one in existence today. Its value today, just shy of $2 million. From there, you'll take the old backstage stairs downstairs into the 5 completely furnished rooms in the basement. Our document room is downstairs, also the wine cellar, still holding all of the original wine and whiskey barrels that were left here. After 118 years, some of those to this very day are still full of Kentucky bourbon whiskey. The 2 bordello rooms have all of their original furnishings, including a lot of the personal items that were left here by some of the ladies that worked here the night they closed Christmas Eve, 1889. Lastly, in the basement is the poker room. That's where the longest running and most high-dollar poker game in the West took place. Now, this very high-roller game had a minimum buy-in of $1,000. That would be approximately $30,000 in today's money just to sit at the table. They played this game around the clock 24 hours a day. That poker game lasted for 8 years, 5 months and 3 days, non-stop. They also played alongside some very prominent businessmen of that time period. Adolphus Busch, who founded the Busch Breweries, and George Randolph Hearst, the newspaper tycoon and mining mogul. Now those 2 gentlemen, they would actually meet here at the Birdcage 4 times a year just to sit in on that game and play a little poker. They were sitting alongside such notables as Diamond Jim Brady, Doc Holliday, Bat Masterson, and Luke Short. Over $10 million crossed hands on that table in that 8-year period. The house took 10% of that, and they walked away with $1 million in profit just from that one poker game alone. It was also in the end room right downstairs where Wyatt Earp and Josephine Sarah Marcus began a lifelong love affair. That lasted 47 years until Wyatt's death in 1929, but it got its start right here in this building. Taking the tour through the building is truly like taking a step through the historical past of the old Birdcage. The tours are self-guided. We welcome you to take all the time that you like. If you have cameras, you are more than welcome to take personal photos throughout the museum. Adult admission is $10. Seniors 60 and over and any active duty military members are $9. Youth 8 to 18 are $8. Children 7 and under are free. Our family package is 2 adults, all the children up to the age of 18 for $28. Just join me up here at the bar and I'll be happy to get you started on a trip right back to the 1880s. I'd like to thank you all for stopping in, and we hope you have a great stay here in Tombstone and enjoy the 27th Annual Rendezvous of Gunfighters weekend here in Tombstone.
Boxes for the prostitutes and their feathers.
Pool table. door we came in.
Is that right? Figure out how this game is played. Well, what's your favorite? The original barrel table was our holiday flavor. They end up barrel or I need to use I called in January while I was doing a duel between the barrel table and the grand piano. So it was grand piano right there. Got live story. Just a little story.
The original piano. That's it.
Hey, look. Don't look like Kurt Russell to me.
Huh. I'm a night shot in this room. There's the old haunted hearse. One of the coffins. Turn it off, night shot. original coffin. And you've got the stagecoach. That's the original gold and silver trimmed stagecoach. That is beautiful. It says, owned by Watt and Talbot Undertaking Parlour of Tombstone, used from 1881 to 1917 with the exception of 6 people. It buried everyone in Boot Hill Cemetery. It was built by Cunningham Brothers of Rochester, New York for $8,000 in 1881. There was only 8 of these models built that year. It is the only one left of the original 8. The trim on the hearse is all sterling silver and 24 karat gold leaf. The curved glass is the first ever manufactured on a vehicle. Its value today is worth over 10 times its original cost. Coffee. And downstairs from the hearse. Original tables.
Can I have a game?
Well, my terms of doing it, I don't know about this one. It's a little too long.
Step back into the past.
See this?